What's going on, campers? Campfacer here. Unfortunately, we have some bad news. Gabby Petito's body was found in Wyoming yesterday. That was just north of Utah, where her and her fiance, Brian Laundrie, were last seen camping and traveling. And if you have not heard the story yet, I'm sure everyone's heard the story. It's all over the news. You can't miss it. I posted a video a few days ago. I'll put the link down in the description below. Anyways, I'm going to recap on the story a little bit here before I dive into some more news and where we're at now. Basically, Brian Laundrie and his fiance, Gabby Petito, they started a YouTube channel not too long ago, and they planned on traveling the country and living off the grid and vlogging on their journey and camping and hiking and so on. So they got a van, it's a little camping transit van, and they started out from Florida and they made it to Colorado. They planned to go to California, and then they ended up in Utah, where a witness saw a van swerving on the road, and they reported it to the police. The police caught them swerving over the yellow line, and they ended up like crashing. Come to find out, the officer saw the driver was Brian, and his face was like kind of bloody, scratched up, his head, and she admitted to striking him, causing the van to swerve. They've been arguing throughout the day, and she admitted it, and he wasn't going to press charges, so the police officers ended up letting them both go, but they wanted her to sleep in the van, camp out in the van while they took him to a hotel that same night, just to kind of like give them breathing space. After that, I don't know if they met up in the morning, and we didn't hear that story because it got kind of weird. Her parents got a text message that they were going to Yellowstone National Park, and the text message read something like, "Not going to have service, so I can't talk." But that was a lot. They said that she wouldn't write something so short like that and then not talk for days after that. So they didn't hear from her. And August 25th, that incident happened on August 12th, I think. Anyways, August 25th, this is a really strange part. Brian, her fiance Brian, ended up driving her van that she owned all the way back to Florida, Northport, Florida, to his parents' house without Gabby. And her parents found this out a few days later and tried contacting Brian, and Brian wouldn't talk to the parents. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He hired a lawyer. The lawyer said, "Don't say anything." It got really suspicious that he was involved in murdering his fiance, Gabby. It looked obvious. It does look obvious. I mean, you can't. Who would leave their fiance, even if she was missing, if she got lost? Why would you leave her in Utah and drive all the way back to Florida without her? I mean, you can't be any more of a suspect or suspicious after doing that. So anyways, he won't talk. He ends up going to his parents' house, come to find out, because the police have been there up till now, and the FBI is involved. Everybody's involved, even the whole country, the community, the YouTube community. Everyone out there this is like one of those bigger stories. When he went back to his parents' house with the van, come to find out, he took a bunch of hiking equipment, backpacks and stuff, and he apparently drove 5 miles from Northport, Florida, where his parents live, to a preserve. I'm not sure the name of it. And his van's been there, and there was a note saying, "Don't move this van," because apparently he's going to have to get back in the van. I don't know why he would leave that note there. So his parents saw the van there, and they left it there, but then they went back and then drove the van back home. And the police in the search and rescue and everyone has been searching the preserve for days. And I don't know how many acres this preserve is, but it looks huge. And they think he's in there, but they haven't found any signs of him yet, obviously. While that's been going on, there's been people lined up at his parents' in the front street, about a mile long, of cars and people, and the news reporters are there, and they're chanting like, "Where is Gabby?"
Only because I know we're a little bit of a ways, and it's probably hard to hear what he said. I'll wait until the chanting stops, and I'll show you what's happening right here. This is a little bit of what the officer was referencing.
Obviously, now we have this news, which is unfortunate, and I say a prayer to her family and her friends. That's horrible. But they did say they found her, but they weren't 100%, because they have to do all the tests and autopsy and everything. But they said it was her, from my understanding. Now, today, the strange part is, out of nowhere, the news reporters said that they were at Brian's parents' house, and it was kind of quiet. I think there was one officer walking around, just kind of, standing in the front yard so people don't invade their privacy. And today, the news reporters said that about 10 to 15 FBI and police zoomed up, got out, put crime scene tape is all around their property now.
Move the camera and show you back here in the backyard, this shed. We just saw agents out there with the door open. They walked around the outside of the shed. They went inside. They seemed to take a lot of pictures. They did some stuff there. They since walked back into the home. So there's a wide shot of the house. You can see all the media gathered. This street is closed to traffic. So right now it's just a very big crime scene that takes up quite a bit of the neighborhood.
And they went into a back shed. They opened up the shed. They were taking photographs inside the shed, outside the shed. They're in the house. That's where we stand now. So it's kind of like, what did they find? What's inside the parents' house that they're all of a sudden investigating? I don't know if they had to wait for a search warrant for that to take place, because they were there yesterday. They were there inside and the day before, but then today it turned into more of a crime scene. I don't know, maybe Brian's body's there, maybe he committed suicide. I don't know. I don't know where we're at with that yet. But yeah, anyways, people out there were saying that originally, before they found her body, that this could be a hoax. This could be just to get fame for their YouTube channel or whatever, story, or a paid movie, or people do that kind of stuff a lot, and it turns out bad in the end. If they did, if it was a hoax and she was in on it, and they wouldn't even be allowed on YouTube. They'd be banned for life for pulling a stunt like that. And unfortunately, it wasn't a hoax, because now, they found her body, and that's just, I just don't understand how somebody like that is supposed to love somebody, and they look like they had so much love in that video of traveling, that he could do such a thing. It's pretty crazy. And another weird thing I forgot to talk about too is I did mention that they did find 2 other bodies on August 13th, right in the same camp area that they were in. 2 females that were married, and they were camping out. They were shot to death. That, come to find out, that had nothing to do with Brian and Gabby. It was a different murder situation, which is really odd to me, because I thought it would be connected, 100% connected. I just can't see how that, what's the odds of that happening? 2 different murders happening by 2 different killers in the same time, same area. That's just really strange. And that to me makes me nervous to go out camping now. I want to bring a gun with me or a knife. I don't know. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I'm going to keep watching. When I find out more, I will share more. I want to say, give this video a like, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll just keep you guys up to date. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I will discuss. And as always, campers, stay out of the woods.